Hello, it's Thursday and this is another episode of Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to see more. Coming up in this episode, we have the news that Toulouse expect to be full-time in 2023. Arona to leave Wakefield at the end of his contract, and he's joined by so many others. And round 24 begins in the NRL, and I bring you results and scorers from the opening game. So we begin today with the news that Wakefield, even though they are safe, next year might be a little bit different around their ground, as another player has decided to leave Wakefield at the end of the 2022 season. Cook Island international Tinirau Arona has confirmed he will leave Wakefield when his contract expires at the end of the season. The 33-year-old prop has made 162 appearances for Wakefield since arriving at Bellevue from the NRL ahead of the 2016 season. Arona will play his last game for Wakefield on Thursday when they welcome Hull KR to the Bellevue. The Cook Islander posted on his own Twitter account, "After 7 years at Wakefield Trinity, tomorrow night will be my last home game. I'll farewell our fans after the match with other lads leaving. I've got nothing but respect for Michael, John and the board for everything that they have done for me, for my family and I." He was speaking about Chief Executive Michael Carter and John Minards, the chairman. "Michael has had my back since I first arrived at the end of 2015, and I'll be forever grateful." Rona's departure has come a day after prop David Fafita confirmed he would be departing also Wakefield at the end of the season. He said in an Instagram post, "Big bopper farewell. When? Thursday the 25th of August. Where? Be Well Support Stadium, Bellevue. This is the end of an era. What a ride it's been. Looking forward to what lies ahead. Sincerely yours, Big Bopper. #Last Dance." As well as Arona and Fafita, there are other players on the way out of Wakefield too, with James Batchelor signing for Hull KR, Tom Johnston signing for Catalan's Dragons, and Bill Tupu having to retire from rugby league due to chronic knee injuries. There are others as well, like the likes of Jacob Miller, who's been growing speculation all the way through the season with him going to Castleford with the Revolution underneath Paul Radford, because he's off contract at the end of the season. Joseph Audin over the last couple of days has been more and more focused on playing to impress future suitors in Super League. He's off contract also. And Jack Croft, who is been alright at centre for Wakefield in the last few weeks. But they're not the only ones. Jai Pitts, Jai Fields, Sadiq Adibayi are all off contract, but them three have options on their deals for next year. But we got to come back to Arona, as he has been the servant for Wakefield since 2015 and a fan favourite. And his departure will be sorely missed. He was born in Dundee, New Zealand, and he's of Cook Island heritage, obviously. And he moved to Australia as an 11-year-old. He's also the cousin of former Cook Island international Tupou Sopenga. The powerhouse prop has made his debut internationally for Cook Islands as a 17-year-old in 2006. Arona will have to wait 5 more years for his NRL debut though, which came with the Sydney Roosters, where he made 36 appearances for the Roosters over the course of 3 seasons between 2011 and 2013. He went on to play for the Cronulla Sharks, playing 33 first grade games across 2 seasons. He then made the switch to Super League with Wakefield ahead of the 2016 and became a fan favourite. On the international scene, Arona has won 10 caps for Cook Islands and is hoping to play in his second World Cup this autumn. Toulouse Olympique have today announced that they will remain full-time and continue to fund their opponents' travel in 2023 if they are relegated from Super League. 6 points adrift with 3 matches left, Toulouse returns to the championship after a solitary season in the top flight will be confirmed if they lose the French Super League derby with Catalan's Dragons tonight. Even victory would not be enough to keep them in Super League if Wakefield and Warrington take a point from their home games with Orgear and Castleford Tigers respectively. But Chief Executive Cedric Garcia says Sylvain Houlet's team will battle until the end. The club's final game of the season at the Stade Ernest Wallon will be shown on Sky Sports, but Garcia will be says that they are expecting a season best crowd of 8 to 10,000 at the stadium. It will be shown live in both France and England, but he has been pragmatic over the overall result which could come for Toulouse. Mathematically, we're not down, Garcia, who reckons the fixture would have drawn 15,000 if it was staged on a weekend, he told the PA news agency. I know there is only a 1 out of 100 or 1,000, but there's something to play for, and Catalans have something to play for. And the team wants to go out on a high, especially at home. Toulouse have gone on to realise a decade's ambition when they reached the Super League with victory over Featherstone in last October's £1 million game, but the odds were stacked against them from the start after losing 2 pivotal players, Mark Carella and Jonathan Thord, through coronavirus related issues. Thord here seen lifting the trophy. They also lost their first 5 matches of the season, pulling off a shock win over St Helens and further raising their survival hopes with 3 successive victories in July, which lifted them off the foot of the table before going on another 5-match losing streak while watching Wakefield win 3 of their last 4 games. It's been a difficult season, but Garcia says the experience has served only to whet their appetite for the big time again. I think people will recognise that we are a Super League club with our facilities and the way we operate, Garcia said. We've tested it and we like it, so we want to come back. We're going to try everything to have a team that is capable of bringing us straight back. We have no option but to stay full time if we want to be competitive as a foreign club. We tried it between 2009 and 2011, but with the travel and recovery it doesn't work, speaking as a part-time club. Garcia also went on to say that the club has no other option but to continue to foot the bill for officials and awaiting travel, which costs them around £500,000 a year, which will not change whatever division the team operates in. I think on this one we won't have any choice, he said. Should we stay in Super League? There would have been some talks with the clubs. However, in the Championship, I don't see the RFL letting us not fund the travel. We need to be ready to do it. But in readiness for 2023, Toulouse have started re-signing some of their current players, and Garcia has confirmed there will be at least 5 departures. France international prop Justin Sangare is joining Leeds, while Olympique will also bid farewell to former St Helens forwards Andrew Dixon and Joseph Parlow. Wales hooker Lloyd White, who is likely to retire due to injury, and former Leeds prop Mitch Garbutt will be joining St Gaudens as a player coach. Garcia will then sit down with Australian standoff Corey Norman next week to discuss his future after this season and after it was prematurely ended by suspension. Meanwhile, former Catalan standoff Tony Gigo has been denied the chance to face his old club on Thursday night after being dropped following a disappointing performance in last week's crushing defeat in Wigan. Now we end the episode with a look and also a report on the NRL games that are coming up in round 24. As we see, Thursday's show was the opening game of the round with an exciting fixture. But before that, where are all the teams standing at this moment in time in the league? So with 3 games to go, this is how the ladder looks. Penrith Panthers tied up their minor premiership after they hit 40 points last weekend and cannot be beaten to the table, top of the table, by second place, third place, or even fourth place teams such as the Cowboy, Cronulla Sharks, and the Melbourne Storm. Parramatta Eels come next, but anchor Pip Melbourne Storm with good results to the 4th place, while the Sydney Roosters are having a resurgence and they have joined the Rabbitohs on 28 points. The Broncos are in the last playoff position, also on 28 points. So the Raiders could jump 3 places and get into the playoffs if results go their way, as they are on 26 points. The Dragons still have an outside shot at the playoff picture, but it's highly unlikely at this time of the year. Manly Sea Eagles are definitely out of the playoff picture, as they see themselves in 11th and will probably stay there till the end of the season. Canterbury Bulldogs, New Zealand Warriors and Newcastle Giants are all, Newcastle Knights even, are all on 14 points apiece, and it'll be a battle for those minor places before the wooden spoon race heats up between Gold Coast Titans and the West Tigers. That means the round opens in Brisbane as they take on the Eels in the first game of the weekend. The Panthers and the Storm are both shown on the same day again and are at home against the New Zealand Warriors and the Sydney Roosters respectively. The Canberra Raiders could go above the Roosters if the results go their way on Saturday with a win over Manly, if they are able to get across the line. Cronulla Sharks face the Bulldogs, while the game of the round could be the Rabbitohs versus the Cowboys. West Tigers face St George Illawarra Dragons, and Gold Coast Titans face Newcastle Knights on Sunday. So let's look at that first game of the round, as just 2 points sit between the Broncos and dropping out of the top 8 ahead of round 24. And on Thursday they faced a Eels side that is motivated, who have a chance at nabbing the place in the top 4. Brisbane were embarrassed on home soil by the Storm last week in a 60 points to 12 loss, with the game being just the second time in the club's history that they have leaked 60 points. And another loss this weekend could see them fall out of the 8th in 9th place if the Raiders win. There are no such worries for Parramatta though, who took care of the Bulldogs 42 points to 6 last Friday, and have star halfback Mitchell Moses back on board. The sides met just a month ago at the Comeback Stadium, with the Broncos running out 36 points to 14 winners, but that was the first time Brisbane had been beaten by Para in 6 games, dating back to 2019, when they last won against Para. So with that, here is the teams. The Broncos have decided to rest winger Selwyn Cobbo, with his place being taken by Jordan Pereira. Locked Ryan James also drops out on Wednesday due to a broken finger. replaced in the side by Corey Jensen, whilst Reece Kennedy was omitted. Keenan Palacia and Zach Hoskins joined the bench. Kurt Capewell was named to play despite hurting his ankle against the Storm. Centre Brinko Lee is back on deck after recovering from a hamstring injury, so Deloise Hoyter goes to the 18th man. After last week's win, the Eels decide to stay the same side that beat the Bulldogs, but Makihesi Makatoa and Jake Arthur have been added to the bench in place of Bryce Cartwright and Ofahiki Ogden. No changes were taken place 24 hours before kickoff, but that might change. The Broncos run the risk of dropping out of the top 8 after another massive defeat and a massive scoreline by 53 points to 6. The game got going with Maker Sevo scoring on the 10th minute before Tom Opapicic and Clint Gutherson scored 2 in 2 minutes. Mitchell Moses on his return to the side scored on the 26th minute before Brenko Lee scored for the Broncos. Clint Gutherson got a try before half time and Mitchell Moses kicked a drop goal just to close off the half. 31 points to 6 was the scoreline at half time, and it got better for the Eels after Isaiah Papali'i went over on the 65th minute with Will Pennicini scoring on the 68th minute. Then, in the final moments of the game, there were 2 tries for the Eels, with Tom Opicic with his second and Waka Blake scoring on the 79th minute for a comprehensive win for the Eels, which see them cement their top 4 place. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking that notification bell for any updates on new videos that may be coming your way, like the 4 games that are coming up tonight in the Super League. I will do my best to bring you the highlights of all 4 games. Now, tell me in the comment section below what your thoughts are on Toulouse having to pay £500,000 every single year for travel for rugby league teams. Should the rugby league teams be budgeting for that as it's part of Super League Europe? Why do the French teams have to foot the bill every single year? And that is also Catalans. Free travel. They wouldn't normally get that if they were travelling to London, Cornwall, or places like that. Anyway, I digress. And then the Trinity. Losing a lot of players, possibly as many as 12, if they decide to not take up options. So how many would they bring in? Always a close battle at the end of the year for Trinity. I know they're trying to build something, and they've also got the stadium redevelopment. But how can they have this high turnover? Unless they've got some fantastic youngsters coming through. Just don't know. And the NRL game. Tell me in the comment section below, is it nailed on that the Parramatta Eels are going to be a competitive team during the playoffs? Or are the Brisbane Broncos going to surprise everyone? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to share this video worldwide. But in the meantime, please stay safe. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you in the next episode.